As a Christian and an artist, I've always been curious as to what Jesus might have actually looked like. My assumption was always that he simply looked like the way he's been portrayed in most films or TV shows. A typical Middle Eastern man of the times. However, once I started doing my research and looking for actual historical evidence and descriptions of Jesus, I found that my assumptions were completely off. First of all, there is no actual description of what Jesus looked like during his life anywhere in the Bible. There are, however, a few first-hand historical accounts by people who weren't his followers or believers, but that simply described an interesting man that they encountered. I include those descriptions in this video and also my sources in the description.
One day, in passing by the place of Siloe, where there was a great concourse of people, I observed in the midst of the group a young man who was leaning against a tree, calmly addressing the multitude. I was told it was Yeshua of Nazareth. This I could easily have suspected, so great was the difference between him and those listening to him. His golden-coloured hair and beard gave to his appearance a celestial aspect. He appeared to be about 30 years of age. Never have I seen a sweeter or more serene countenance. What a contrast between him and his hearers, with their black beards and tawny complexions.
Jesus has a noble and lively face, with fair and slightly wavy hair, dark and strongly curving eyebrows, intense penetrating blue eyes, and an expression of wondrous grace. His beard is almost blonde, although not very long. His hair, however, has never seen a pair of scissors. His neck is slightly inclined, so that he never appears to be bitter or arrogant. His lightly tanned face is the colour of ripe corn and well proportioned. It gives the impression of gravity and wisdom, sweetness and good, and is completely lacking in any sign of anger.
There has appeared in our times, and there still lives, a man of great virtue called Yeshua of Nazareth. The people call him Prophet of Truth, his disciples the Son of God. He is said to be able to raise the dead and heal infirmities. He is a man of medium size. He has a venerable aspect, and his beholders can both fear and love him. His hair is of the color of the ripe hazelnut, straight down to the ears, but below the ears wavy and curled, flowing over his shoulders. It is parted in two on the top of the head after the pattern of the Nazarenes. His brow is smooth and very cheerful, and a face without wrinkles or spots, embellished by a slightly reddish complexion. His nose and mouth are faultless. His beard is abundant, of the color of his hair, not long but divided at the chin. His appearance is simple and mature. His eyes are blue-grey and bright. He isn't known to laugh, but often to weep. His stature is straight, his hands and arms beautiful to behold. His conversation is grave, infrequent and modest. He is the most beautiful among the children of men.
Also, in recreating Jesus' face, I used the Shroud of Turin as a guide for the overall proportions. Obviously, I took into account the fact that the man in the shroud has been brutally beaten, his nose was broken, and his face swollen. The Shroud of Turin is the most scientifically tested historical artifact in the world. It contains an image of a man that matches all of the descriptions of what happened to Jesus up to his death on the cross. Now, latest studies show that the 1988 carbon dating was actually false, and according to modern X-ray testing, the linen cloth fibers are actually from the 1st century. Also, recent DNA analysis traced the particles like pollen grains back to the precise geographic location of Israel. Lastly, the image on the shroud is not painted like most people assume, but a result of huge amounts of radioactive light bursts. Attempts have been made recently to try to reproduce a similar image using X-rays and electromagnetic radiation onto a woven cloth, and it was concluded that the amount of energy needed to create an image surpasses our current abilities. For my portrait of Jesus, I used several different photo elements of facial features that matched the descriptions of Jesus. I then pasted all of them on top of the shroud image, and then at the end I painted over all of it to end up with my final image. Also, to further bring this portrait to life, I used various animation and also AI voice generation tools to make Jesus talk. I hope you guys enjoy my results.
am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours.